Alright, these are 5 quick tips on how to stop making games all by yourself. So, the first one is that the engine does not matter. You can just pick one that is good for the games that you'd like to make. For example, I just make really small, simple indie games, and Unity is perfect for that, which is why I choose Unity. Alright, the second one is to just learn. Your main focus when you're just starting out is to just make a lot of small indie games. You don't want to make something that has a crazy scope that's going to take years. That's a bad idea. What you actually want to do is you want to make a bunch of small games that takes around a month, 2, 3, 4, around that. And you want to make each new game that you make, you want to make sure that it's a little bit more challenging than the one you just made. This way you can always improve and always learn. Now, you shouldn't pick one that is too hard, always a little bit harder than. You should always have something that's, you gotta think to yourself, does this game have some new mechanics that I should implement? And if it does, that's probably a good idea. Yeah, so you should always just be learning. That should be your main goal. Now here's the thing, I would actually recommend you don't just learn about game development, I would learn about a lot of things. For example, you should learn about both game development and, for example, like productivity. I'm gonna give you an example. You should read this book and just implement everything. I promise you, you will become not just a better game developer. It doesn't really matter what you do. If you do work that is not like manual labor or anything like that, if you're doing work that actually require you to use your brain, then deep work is really good. Alright, so the third one is to make games that can be profitable. Now I know I just told you to make a lot of small games, no, but here's the thing, you can actually make decent money with a game that takes you 2 months to develop. Now there's probably a bunch of examples on Steam on games that have sold really good and only took a few months to develop. But here's the thing, my game was just a small idle clicker game. It's called Coin Flipper, and that game was pretty profitable. It's pretty much why I'm able to do this now still. Now I know that it's not common for a first-time developer to actually make decent money with your first game, but it's possible. And also I knew that the genre, I didn't know it was going to sell well, but I knew that the idle clicker genre was a genre on Steam that actually has a pretty decent player base. So I always knew that it could be, and it was, so I guess I got a little bit lucky. But you should always focus on making games that has a genre that the players always want to play. For example, this new Vampire Survivor game created a whole new genre of Vampire Survivor clones. And the reason why is because the gameplay loop of Vampire Survivors is really fun. Another thing is that you should focus on releasing your games on Steam instead of itch.io and stuff like that. You can release on both, I mean, why not? But I would focus on Steam just because on Steam it has a way longer player base. It's, even if you make a game that might not make that much money, you're probably gonna make some money, regardless of what you make. You're gonna make some money, and that money might give you $150 1 month, and those $150 you can spend that on art. Which takes me to the next point, number 4, which is to invest in good art. It is worth it. I know you might not have a lot of money to spend. I'm lucky now because I'm making decent money, not like crazy money, but the money I make I can reinvest into my games, and it is going to make my games just appeal more visually pleasing. I mean, we all know that great art can just greatly increase the sales. There's a lot of games that have very poor gameplay, but it looks nice because people like looking at nice things. So even if you don't have that much money, if you have a little bit of money to spend on art, I would definitely do it. My first game, Coin Flipper, has terrible art, but it's better than if I made it. So I spent a little bit of money, like 20, maybe $30 entirely on that game. Another thing is that it saves a lot of time. Even if you are a great artist, a lot of the time it's a good idea to just buy some art because it will save you a lot of time. Now, if you are, let's say, like a really good artist and you want to focus on making games that have really good art, unique art instead of a gameplay heavy game, then obviously you should do that. But I'm talking like in general, the entire process of a game development, you want art because it saves so much time. Alright, 5. So you should master your skills that you are best at, or what you enjoy the most. So for example, I am not a really good programmer, but programming is what I enjoy the most. What I hate and I don't like doing, and I'm also really bad at it, is art. Which is why I just buy art. I get a lot of art on the Unity store, and I also buy a lot of art from Fiverr. Basically what I'm saying is that you should get really good at one thing rather than a little bit good at a few things. Now I know as a solo developer you have to do almost everything. I mean, you have to do the programming, the art, you have to set up the entire project, you have to do marketing, you have to release it on whatever Steam or whatever you want to release it, you want to have to do audio and everything. But here's the thing, you don't need to really be good at everything. For example, if you're bad at audio design, which I am, I just get all my audio. I don't think I will ever like create my own sounds and stuff like that. Maybe at some point, but I just get free stuff and I buy package of sounds. Right, so that's the 5 tips. I do have a bonus one though, and that is that you should just keep at it. I know that it's easy to get discouraged if your games don't sell enough or if they get bad reviews and whatnot, but I promise you, if you just always learn and improve and just keep making games, I promise you will find success. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.